Hello, good morning and welcome back to the fish locker in Florida Keys. Not Chesil Beach, is it? Yeah, we're in the Florida Keys at the moment. I am, well, the bridge that you can see behind me, it's called the 7 Mile Bridge, for anyone who wants to look it up. The sun is just coming up, my favourite time of day. Now the tides here, they are unusual. There's only maybe about a metre of movement at max. Now the tide, it's running in this direction. We've got quite a lot of wind. The wind seems to have followed me from the UK because it is howling a gust of wind. This is our first proper day in the Keys. We got in yesterday, got my fishing licence sorted out. I went to a local tackle shop and got some bait, and now I'm going out to try some fishing. Now the tide's already running, it's running this way underneath the bridge, so we've got wind and tide together. Wind at our back, it's not ideal, but we'll just do what we can. I'm just trying to winkle out some fish. Anybody who knows me knows I like to get a rod in the water before I do anything else. Got my baits in the water, just bite on both rods. Brilliant, what a great way to start. So we have already had, I am assuming that this is a mangrove snapper and this is a yellowtail. I don't know exactly what they are. If it's different to what I've said, I'll put it in as an annotation. Yeah, pretty much any fish that we catch is going to be a new species and a PB. It's always good to catch a PB. Yeah, I'm going to release those two now. I just kept them there for 2 seconds in that bucket of water to show you. I'm going to talk you through the rigs, get baited up, see what else we can find. Right, it's windy, but it's not like 4 degrees Celsius in the UK windy. Yeah, it's stunning. Right, the first rod and rig, I've never fished here before, so I kind of had to figure it all out as I come. And all I did was I kind of looked over the side, look, and I'm fishing down alongside of a bridge. So I knew there was going to be stanchions going to the water, so the water is going to run faster and it's going to create like a slack eddy in here. I don't know if you can see it there, where it's running fast, and then in this area here it's a slack bit. Now generally it's going to be deeper where it's running fast. All I thought I'm going to do is I need to suspend a bait out in the tide. So this is what I came up with. That's on my main line. It's got a 3-way swivel with I think that's a 1/2 ounce lead, and I've got about 2 feet of fluoro, and then all I've got is I've just got a little tiny jig head. Just to give, the reason why I'm using a jig head rather than just a plain hook is because I wanted a little bit extra weight. Otherwise the hook ends up in the tide. That was my logic, that was what I was doing. And all I'm using for bait is some of these. Yeah, match the bait to the hook, that's kind of what I thought. So I'm using half a prawn. I'm using half of one of those on a jig head. That was what caught the snapper. I'm sorry if it's going to be noisy from the wind and from the road, but there's not an awful lot I can do. Yeah, so I just dropped that down just underneath where the stanchion was underneath. And I kind of thought anything coming in will try and hug into where that slack water is. I just picked it up straight away. The other rod, my scratching rod, like I say, I've never been here before. I've no idea what species of fish are around here. And I thought there's probably going to be an awful lot of little ones. So just to try and find out what's down there, I'm going to put some little tiny hooks, scratching rig. And all it is, it's just a very simple 2-hook scratching rig. From my main line, I've got a strong swivel. The reason I always put a swivel in there is so I can change the rig out if I need to. And I've just made a trace up of maybe a foot between 2 3-way swivels. The reason why I've done that is because I can loop hook lengths on. So these little hooks, the hooks that I've got at the moment are like size 8, they're real small. If they're still too big, I can put some hook lengths on with smaller hooks and I don't need to change the whole rig, I'll just change the hook lengths. If those hooks are perfect, I'll keep using them. If I keep getting a bit off, I'll change them. If the fish are bigger, then I'll change it to bigger hook lengths. I can keep the same rig and I can keep changing hook lengths out. And all I'm using is just little scraps of frozen shrimp. The reason why I've got a heavier lead on this one is because I want this to sit right down there. I don't want it to move. The other rig, I don't mind if it moves about a little bit. Tell you what, they're like little piranhas down there. Bait's getting stolen from every direction now. In my mind I thought, yeah, I'll move them baits closer so the gulls don't get them. Well, that didn't work, did it? Right. This is what keeps blitzing my baits. Just absolutely annihilating me all the time. Lovely looking fish, but I tell you what, just like a little piranha. Just returning that other fish, and this guy happened along. They've all got loads of attitude. What a beauty. No idea what it is. I'm thinking schoolmaster snapper. Something in my mind says schoolmaster snapper. Yeah. Ah! A bucket of water there. Yeah, that's all it is, just a little tiny jighead like that. And all I've been doing when the seagulls haven't managed to steal my prawns, I tell you what, they're sneaky round here. Just taking half a prawn like that. And I've just been threading it up, bringing it out. That's it, that's all I've been doing. And it's just on a little trace like that, like a downtide trace. I can feel by the bite that they're not very big. Now I don't even know if this area, if you get like the bigger fish mixing in with the smaller fish, or whether or not, just because I'm getting so many small fish, I've got no chance of catching a big one. I don't know yet. Tell you what, them spikes are sharp. There's another one. Well, I figured out how to catch these guys. Yeah, beautiful. But it seems to just be these and the other yellow ones. So I think what I might do is I'll scratch about, use up the rest of the bait that I've got out, and then I'll go somewhere else and see if I can't find something different. What I'm casting to here is where the water comes up underneath the bridge. It makes a bank on the other side, and I'm dropping my baits just on the bank on the other side. You see that? There's a bite. All it is as the water gets channeled in underneath the bridge and it goes underneath and cuts it all out, it deposits all the sand on the other side. So all I'm doing is I'm casting my baits to sit on the back side of that, and all the fish seem to be held up there. I've just hooked and lost something that looked like a wrasse. Looked like a cross between a rainbow wrasse and a cuckoo wrasse. Hooked it tight on the bottom on one of these and it's come off halfway when lifting it. So there is something else there. I'm going to try and pull one of them out. But yeah, that would explain where I'm getting these really aggressive little bites on, like right against a rock, just like a wrasse in the UK. See if I can't winkle him out. Got it! Got it! Knew it was down there. This looks like a parrotfish. This is what this is. It's a little blue parrotfish. So that might explain that the other one was a pale colour, it was a peachy colour. That might be a female. And this might be a male. Really don't want it to bite me. Because if you can see, they've got like a real hard beak. But yeah, that's what it was. That real aggressive little bites, like tight up against a rock. And same rig again. Just goes to show that these little scratching rigs like this with the little hooks and a little bit of bait, they'll just pick up anything. That's why I love using these when I come to a new place, because honestly, I don't know what's here. Again, no idea. I think. Oh well, I thought this was a type of hogfish for a second. Because look at them. It's got spikes like a John Dory, hasn't it? I'm going to have to take some photos because I have no idea what this is. It has got mouth like a hogfish. Oh, he wasn't coming off. No. Yeah, this guy, I have no idea. I just know that he's covered in spines and he keeps biting me. What a wicked fish that is. These on top of here. Yeah, pretty much every set of fins you can see, especially these ones under here, I've got a set of spikes on them. What a beautiful fish. It's half wrasse, half John Dory. Its mouth's really peculiar as well because it's got like a full-on protruding mouth, look. Yeah, let's get it back. There's another one. What's that? 6 new species? I don't know. How amazing. That wind has started to really gust. And it's brought with it a load of this. So yeah, perfect time to go and leave. I've got 2 or 3 more little scraps of bait I'm going to use. And then we're going to move on. See what I mean now about like how the water's filling up with weed. Yeah, that gusting wind's bringing a load of weed through. It's just every single time I put a line out, I'm just getting loads of weed wrapped around it. So yeah, perfect time to leave. You get some idea of how strong the wind is now that I'm not huddled down, don't you? With this being my first visit to this spot, I chose this specific position on the bridge because of the channel you can see behind me. Nowhere around here was very deep, 10 foot probably at the deepest spots that I found, and the channels I thought that would be my best bet for some better fish. You can see the shallower areas are all covered in a marine grass. They were only a couple of feet deep. Only 2 foot deep. Down in this channel here, it gets deeper to about 5 foot. Most of where I was fishing today was in about 4 foot of water. Where I've parked is I've just parked about another 400 yards down there. Now this stretch of path here that I'm on doesn't go all the way down the 7 mile, it's a mile long. I went probably halfway down. The reason I didn't go all the way to the end is because there was a gang of lads down there that had been there all night. Went down and had a chat to them and they hadn't done very well, and they let's just say they let me know that they thought that area was theirs. What I'm going to do is, you can see this area that I've got here. Again, I've got another one of the stanchions down there. But also, I've got the bottom of the car bridge. So I'm going to stick the bigger bait, if I can, in that gap between there, and I'm going to fish my scratching baits down the side of here. My logic being that if there's any bigger fish, they'll be out in a bigger run of tide, but still tucked out of the way, and the little tiny fish, all the different species, are going to be hiding down here. That's the logic that I'm using, and it's been working so far. See that pelican? It's a rare size seagull, that one. A hoofing great pelican. Another parrotfish. Oh, easy tiger. Oh, calm down, calm down. I was bitten by one of these when I was in Australia, and I tell you what, they let you know it. So I want to try and avoid being bitten again. What a beauty. Tell you what, it fought really hard as well for only a little fish. Let's get it back. Yes. Yes, I got it. That species that I caught earlier on wasn't a parrotfish, it was a wrasse. Thought it was a wrasse. And there it is. Now to me, it looks like a rainbow wrasse. God, I'll tell you what, every fish around here is covered in spines and has real sharp teeth. I think that must just be to do with the amount of predator fish that are around here. Sharks and barracudas and whatnot, but that is a beautiful little fish. Let's give her a photo and get it put back. Yep, thought it was a wrasse earlier. That to me is the perfect way to end. A wrasse and a yellowtail snapper. It's just like certain marks in the UK. In here in the car park, it's not a breath of wind. That's some vehicle, that like. I'm back just in time for breakfast.